Hey there, Mother2 for the Pretend Pros here, currently playing Orcarina of Time on Project 64. As you can see, it's a 21:9 aspect ratio. This is recorded at 2560 by 1080 at 60 FPS, of course. So, you know, if you don't have an ultra-wide monitor, you're gonna have the black bars on top and on bottom as if it was an ultra-wide video, you know, something like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, things like that. As you can see, there are obviously visual glitches because it's stretching and it's zooming out for the 3D segments, but you can see Link here is not actually on his bed on this angle, but then once the camera changes, he is back on his bed, but you can still see more of the room. Essentially, the point of this is you get a much wider field of view, so it's more immersive. The N64 was not intended to do this aspect ratio, though if memory serves, GoldenEye actually did natively support it. So, fun fact, I'm going to do GoldenEye next as a video most probably, so if you enjoy this or you want to see GoldenEye, feel free to check that out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. As you can see though, there's really no major issues with textures or clipping or model distortion or motion blur, which is common to some games on Project 64 when you're stretching the aspect ratio this far. But you know, overall it actually does look really good. I'm running it at 8 times anti-aliasing and 16 times anisotropic filtering. For those who are curious, you know, you really don't need much power to run Project 64. But I'm playing with a GTX 970 in case you're curious, with an i5 quad core at 3.4 gigahertz if memory serves. So in case you're wondering what specs I'm running, maybe you want to compare it to yours, maybe you want to know if your computer can run it. That's what I'm working with, and so far I don't seem to have any issues with it, in terms of emulators at least. Now we have to watch Navi fly, motherfucker. Overall, it just looks really good. It's nice seeing this at such an ultra-wide aspect ratio. I'm so sorry for saying so much. It's just I'm trying to, you know, vocalize my emotions and feelings towards seeing this as an ultra-wide for the first time. But, overall, you know, I'm really impressed by it. I think it looks really good. And, you know, considering this is one of my absolute favorite games of all time, cliched, I know, but it's such a good game. Like, how could you not like it? I suppose there are arguments to be made to not like it, but if you had played it back in the day, you know, it's phenomenally well done. Good story, good graphics, great gameplay. So it's really hard to argue with that. Though, some of the concepts in this game are really dated, I find. More or less, it's just the puzzles are very simplistic, and they came out at a time when 3D platformers, action games, puzzle solver, whatever, were relatively new still. So I can't fault them for having basic and not as complex puzzles and mechanics as later iterations in the series. But overall, I think they did a phenomenal job with it, and I really can't complain. And I'm back to moving. As you can see now, it is in fact filling the entire screen. And back to the black bars. The game runs incredibly well though at this aspect ratio. I'm genuinely surprised. In Project 64, all you'd have to do to accomplish this is you stretch the aspect ratio, when really I thought, you know, it would just stretch the picture, but it's actually zooming out the camera and rendering it at a much different aspect ratio than this game was originally. Well, I mean, even 16:9 is different than the game was intended for, right? But this is a full 21:9 aspect ratio, ultra wide. Wow, that's really fucking good. Now, I don't think I'm gonna go too far into this. I don't think I'm gonna go as far as beating the first dungeon. Oh, fuck. But I am gonna collect the stuff and get into the first dungeon just to show you guys what it looks like. That'll pretty much be it, but it'll give you a good feel of how the game looks, what you could expect, and if you guys would have a request for another game you'd like me to cover or do or record, you know, feel free to hit me up in the comment section below, and I'd be more than happy to oblige. Just let me know. And let's get them rupees. And for those of you who are curious, yes, I'm playing with a controller. My last emulation video I did was Orcarina of Time on the 3DS emulator Citra, and I did that with the keyboard, and my fucking god, that game is... 3D platformers are not designed to be played with keyboards. Okay, maybe some of them are. That is a false statement. Some of them are definitely designed to be played with them. But a game like this, with already less than ideal controls, sometimes is definitely not designed to be played with a keyboard. And I'm sure some of you know that there is a rupee trick that you can do in the hut just across the lake. Right there, the one with the 2 logs. You can just grind for the rupees that you're missing. And at some point I am definitely going to do that, but actually fuck it, I'll go do it now. Ah, there's the first graphical glitch. Yeah, let's save. Boom. Wow, that draw distance though literally draws the fucker right in front of you. Gotta love those 2D rooms, eh? I'm actually still really fascinated by how much billboarding was done on the N64 games. I mean, Mario 64 is probably the most guilty culprit of them all. However, I really think they did a really good job of it in this. Mario 64 is much more evident than this is. Like, yes, this looks like it is probably a picture, and I mean, it definitely is a picture, right? But even on this 21:9 aspect ratio, you can see it's very cylindrical. You have full 3D collision with it, even though, you know, you really shouldn't. Alright, and all that's left is to collect 2 rupees, which I'm gonna get from these bushes. I honestly forgot he was there again. Alright, right here, right now. I'm ready. Look at that. Alright, let's go get that motherfucking shield. Just taking in the sights here. Let's keep going. Nope, I don't want to talk to you, ever. No one wants to talk to you. Even in the shop you get a wider field of view, that's really cool. I love a Deku shield for 40 rupees. Well, I don't think I've ever seen this much of the shop before. Oops. That's definitely weird. I find it odd seeing so much. It's very cool though. At least I find so. I'm definitely a fan of ultra-wide gaming, as I'm sure you guys can tell. You know, I have the monitor, right? But if any of you are debating it, I would seriously recommend it. Just because there's so much, there's not a huge variety of games, but most modern games support it. Most emulators can be forced to support the aspect ratio, like Project 64 here, for example. It shouldn't support it, but it is. And that little twat goes out of my goddamn way. View the plants. Boom. Just assign that real quick. And the cutscene. If there was to be a huge graphical glitch, I would have expected it to be here. However, there doesn't appear to be any major issues, though you're actually able to see the plant on the right side and the left side of the tree that normally would be absolutely cut off. Just to the left of the text box, you'll see the plant, and on the right hand side in front of the, I want to say root of the trunk. Then enter brave Modeler 2. Navi, the fairy, thou must aid Modeler 2. Oh, no, we're not playing the Listen to Navi game. That's a mistake. Look at those plants. Never even noticed those before. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Oh shit! There isn't a single issue in terms of flipping or model issues, actually. I'm really surprised about that. I really thought there would have been at least some form of model issue there, but fortunately there does not appear to be an issue. Alright. Listen. I love how it's telling me that I can climb it, even though like I just finished climbing something. The door just disappeared there. I just noticed that as the camera panned, the door disappeared. That's more or less to do with draw distance, since it technically should have been off camera. For this game, it would have decided to not draw it in order to preserve resources. I personally think that that's a very good choice on their part, especially since the N64 was really not a resource, I want to say a resource available console, but what I mean to say is it didn't have a lot of horsepower behind it, so it wasn't able to drive games with flawless draw distance and stuff like that, so the developers had to find creative ways to mask things. This is gonna be the last room. Fuck up that nerd. Anyways, so just gonna wait here, Sully. Fuck. That went to shit so fast. Alright, fuck this. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found it informative, entertaining, funny, you just liked it, I don't know, you like Orcarina of Time, something like that, give the video a like, I'd certainly appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, or requests, hit me up in the comment section below. And last but not least, if you'd like to be greeted by any of our future quality content with a notification as soon as it's up or as soon as we're live streaming, because we do a lot of that, then subscribe to the Pretend Pros, we'd certainly appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video. This is Mother2 signing off.